Hello everyone, how you doing today? Thought I would show you an update here to the MCRN 258 yet to be named ship. But I was just taking a look at the ships that I have of the general class across the different factions now. So the MCRN was clearly lacking on this one. Glad to finally get around to making a MCRN ship, but all of these obviously built at different times. There is the human Asteria Destroyer, the Scar Raider, the Creel Scepter. All of these ships are relatively in the same size class area. I'd probably say overall the MCRN is the most expensive of the bunch, but I just kind of seeing how they compare and cost and things like that, and size class. Like this one's a size class 4, so the Creel Scepter is a little bit smaller. The MCRN is it's touching on size class 5, but it's just about done with any changes in size class. Almost, it might go up a few decimal points, but it won't go up very much higher than that. Then the Scar Raider. Right in there in the same size class range, and then the Asteria Destroyer, again right in there in the same size class range. So basically this type of ship. Now of all these ships, I do believe the new one would win, and there's reasons for that. It's more armored and things than these other ships are. But to show you where this is at right now, I've got most of the interior done. I'm lacking LCDs. I'm lacking a few odds and ends features and some final detailing yet. But let me just show you, take a tour through what is here. Obviously, I don't have a sensor here, but so I showed some of this before. It's a little bit more tweaked out yet. You first come into this. It's got 3 decks, but it's split up into 5 floors from the elevator. So in the loading bay here is not too much going on. Basically, get in the ship, a couple cargo boxes. Up here, I have to finish this off yet. This is another fill zone for adding tougher materials. I'll have to tweak this out. Behind a blast door on the front. I'll show you the main fill zone here in a second, in a few. So when you first go down floor 1 of 5 in here, it goes out to the rear engineering area. It gives you your main part locations, cores placed over here, shield, gravity generator, warp core. I am lacking a pentaxa tank on this ship yet, so I'm gonna have to work that out. So that is something I'll probably be placing in this room area somewhere, but I gotta take a look and see exactly where I'm gonna put that yet. So as we go up a floor to deck 2 is right where we came in at, and then we go up to deck 3. This is the hangar now. In the hangar, obviously lacking LCDs and things like that, but it's coming along pretty good. Finished up that. Oh, I got some missing textures up there too. Yeah, I was replacing floor upstairs just before this video. I started working on the medical area, but it's far from complete yet. I don't have all the equipment, the O2, the shower, and I'm gonna have to work out that. I might have to take it out another block roll so I can fit everything properly and have a medical area like you would find in the Helios or even the Solaris space station. Things like that. But this is basically how it came out. At the front of the hangar, you have a regular door and then a blast door. And this takes you to a fill zone. And it's basically all this area is set up to, except for my angled blocks here. Man, I just have a hard time just keeping like Minecraft looking blocks around. But this is basically set up to fill with like Xeno substrate or something. But even if you don't, we have this is a solid combat steel wall here, full blocks. And then up front here, there's some laggy shot and some more blocks and things like that. So it's not super tough, but it's there's a lot here to have to get blasted through for sure, and it's kind of covering the entire front side of the ship, and you can add a lot more blocks in here. There's absolutely nothing in here of any value for the ship performance. No oxygen, no fuel, no generators, no nothing up here. So this is basically the zone set up to be destroyed, and yeah, a lot of areas you could add more blocks to it, or even a decoy of some origin. You could remove the steps and fill that in too. That's basically it, and it's all behind a blast door and then a regular door. And the reason why I got both is the blast doors are not airtight, and I need a second door to make it airtight. So moving on, we're in the last video I showed on this. I was jamming all the CPU cores and things above the warp core, and someone pointed out that that was probably not safe, as the AI will target the warp core. So I heeded that advice, and I removed all that. What I did now in these couple little areas here is added some additional generator or T1 generator slots. So you have 4 locations on that, or well, 4 total locations in here. There's 2 more in the engineering area, which gives you 6 T1 generators that you could add to this if you need more power for whatever you're running on here. Next part, going up to 4. Do I have that crooked? It doesn't look right. I don't know. This is the mining area. Now, right now I have all the mining drills stripped out of here, but it's set up to add them in. Basically, it's not going to come stock with the mining integrated because of CPU and costs and things like that. But you have 6 drill mount locations. They're all labeled like this. You will have to remove the glass windows to place them, and then put the glass windows or something else over them. The reason for this glass here is why I could not leave it open is due to oxygen. There's blast doors at the end of every one of these bays, kind of protecting the where the drills go, but they're not airtight again. So I had to add in something else to keep this room airtight. Although this is regular glass and not even armored glass, because it's not really in a place that needs to take a lot of hits or damage. It's really just to seal the oxygen. And you'll see the same thing up on the ceiling and the floor as well, to add in all these all the drills. And then you'll have a switch here to deploy everything or shut it down. The other switch on the other side is going to be for a thing I haven't got around to doing yet. Shouldn't take long though. And I wanted to set this rear turret up to be a retractable, or I should say a spot for a retractable multi-turret. So you can do the salvaging as well. Makes a lot of sense if you blow up some ships, salvage them, combine some asteroids, shoot some more ships, continue on. It's what we do. So that is the mining setup. Going up to floor 5. Now floor 5 has 2 different parts. Actually a couple different parts here. So out the rear here is a fuel and O2 storage room. Now there is armored glass in front of these fuel tanks. I know it's hard to see, but there is, and that's just in case one of these gets popped to mitigate explosion damage. I did put a blast door here as well, and we still have sealed off thrusters and everything behind these areas. This whole area is quite protected because it's kind of encased in the kind of the rear area of the ship. There's thrusters and things all around this area, except for the top is the weakest point. But it's kind of indented there. I just don't think it's going to be a primary location that would be hit unless you're running from battle and start taking a lot of damage off the backside. But I did double up some areas here as well, and plus there's all the blast doors protecting the mining setup and whatnot. And I'm trying to keep it safe, obviously. So that's kind of the deal here, and I had to have a place somewhere to put fuel. There's a couple fuel tanks that aren't visible at this point either. And I've got a couple more fill zones to work out. So we've got two main generators here behind combat steel and armored glass. Off to the side over here, now this is a new room, and I decided to take this top floor and make it completely asymmetrical. I wanted to do that lower on the lower floors as well, but it just did not work out for big part placements like the generators and things like that. Just didn't really accomplish anything by going asymmetrical or putting the elevator off to one side or the other. But this floor, off to the side over here, you have a pretty big CPU core room. Now, right now, I just have vanilla cores installed, so I'm badly under CPU even at its present loadout. But we have our 4 advanced CPU cores here. And then for Reforged Eden, you have another location to add another advanced core, 2 improved cores, and a basic core. But that also leaves you 4 slots here for quantum cores, 2 more slots over here for quantum cores, and 8 more slots below the floor. This whole area is combat steel, a couple layers thick on the outer wall. So I'm trying to protect this zone quite a bit. And then you have a secure bridge on the other side, also of combat steel around and on the front and everything else. So this hopefully would handle all the cores. You could put in 14 cores. I try to find a spot that the AI hopefully won't try to shoot at much. My only concern is that I do have the actual pilot seat a little bit up in front of where that is. If they decide to shoot at the pilot, I hope it won't be a problem. I don't think it would be. You'd have to take some crazy side impacts for them to dig through all that crap, and yeah, I just don't think it should be a problem. So in here, there's going to be a lot of LCDs. I have locations around to add quite a few LCDs, so I'm going to try to make a neat looking display and stuff in here, and probably a couple switches for like turning on some weapons and things like that too. But it is again encased in combat steel all around, despite the hall's exterior combat steel as well. So that would be the main bridge. Really quick to get to though, from the central elevator, just blam right through here. There's also a blast door here to protect it from that side. When you go into battle mode, it might lower that blast door, and that might be a switch from inside the bridge, just to try to keep everything safe. So as we go along this way, this is where we got our farm. Now I had this painted in a green shade before, but I couldn't deal with it. And the problem, I don't mind the green on the humans, but the MCRN have orange around, and that green and the orange together just make a frog in a blender to me, and it just doesn't look good. So I took out the green and painted it kind of silver, a little bit of orange over here. So it might not look super farmy, but you have 27 grow plots you can add in here. So it was 36 originally. I did take it down by 9. And then you have your switch over here to turn on the grow lights if you decide you're going to grow crops here. If not, you can throw something else there, I guess. I'm not sure what other parts you need to store here, but you know, hey, the more the merrier. Then you got your fridge and a couple fridges and a food processor over there. So as you head into this area, this is your crew section. Not a whole lot going on here. We've got like a little eating table, a little kitchenette, a couple chairs over there. Got a storage room off to this side, just open vacant room, throw in some oxygen or fuel or something if you wanted to there. And on this side you have the actual crew room with some bunk beds. It's pretty simplistic, not too much going on here. It's not a luxury ship. And then your bathroom and shower or toilet and shower over here. I noticed the toilet model changed. Looks better, but it's completely not paintable. So it doesn't matter what color you want it to be, it's going to be bright white. So I made this whole room kind of match it, sort of. Maybe I'll paint the shower that color too, just so it doesn't look out of place. But yeah, it's weird. I was excited. I'm like, oh yeah, that looks nicer than what it used to. And then I realized I couldn't paint it, and I'm like, ah. But still, I think it's an improvement. But that is pretty much the lowdown on the ship. All the different sections And how it's coming out right now. Obviously, I don't think I have a single LCD in this thing right now. I haven't done much with deco items and things like that. I added a couple here and there. It has front and rear Wi-Fi as well. Yeah, that's about it. So spec-wise, looking at where this is at, it's going to go up in cost slightly from here, and the size class might go up a couple pegs, but it's not going to go up by that much more. Obviously, it's mostly finished off now. So it's got around the same build time as the other ships, and I have the 8 artillery launchers installed in here right now, as well as the 29 cannon turrets and a long-range radar. So a lot of that stuff isn't going to be here, so the cost will drop down before it's actually out there. It's just, oh, that must be for the radar. 10 fuel tanks. It's got 2 generators. They're both the biggest generators, but you have locations to add 6 more. Motion-wise, you can see it's pretty balanced. You have double forward thrust, and the other thrust in all directions are balanced to be the same. It can hit maximum speed, I believe. Yeah. Let me just verify this while I'm here. And so this is how it's flying in Reforged Eden right now, and actually I'm badly under CPU. I don't know if that's affecting it. CPU currently, since I don't even have the Reforged cores in here, I'm at about almost 2.9 million running 1200 or 1.2 million CPU. So, but it here, let me get the numbers on here. Strafing, you can hit 100, well, 99. Same thing in all directions, straight up, straight down. You can basically do 100 in all directions. It does turn not bad for being Reforged Eden. Now keep in mind, in vanilla it flies way faster than Reforged Eden, so this would be its slow mode. It doesn't have any RCS installed either right now, and that reminds me, I might throw in some locations to add in some, or label that in some way if you wanted to put some RCS in the ship. I experimented with 4 RCS, and honestly I didn't really notice much of a difference, so I didn't really put much weight into it. But anyway, ooh, hold on, let me get this leveled off again. So that's yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Some planned things I wanted to do. It does not have a tax attack. I think I mentioned that already, so I'll get that in there. I wanted to add in a place for a multi-turret back probably in the middle between the thrusters over here and retractable. I got to remove, I got to figure out what, you know, the CPU coming in at 2.1 million for Reforged Eden. I'll have to play around and probably remove all the artillery launchers stock, and we'll see where it's at. CPU, I'm pretty sure I'll have to remove some turrets. I'm also going to have to change some of the turrets to other types to make it so it's happy with standard weapon count limits with vanilla. The vanilla game, and again, it's going to be for vanilla and Reforged Eden, but it's going to really max out the capabilities, especially if you're adding higher tech turrets and things like that, the mining rig, the artillery launchers, all that stuff. It would require quite a few quantum cores. I don't exactly know how much yet. I'll probably max it out and make like a fully complete version, and then I'll have the stripped down version, which will be released to the workshop, so you can upgrade it as you play the game. But I mean, it's right now my only assessment with this, and the only thing I don't like, but I realize there's just nothing I can do about it, and that is it really does not support HVs. It can land on the ground. It has enough thrust to take off from the ground with the 2XL thrusters down there, but you can't really load a HV unless you do some acrobatics with it, which is possible for sure. I've seen a lot done, but yeah, it's just not designed for that. I cannot add a ramp down here because that would interfere with the artillery launchers. I did clean up the blocks I had over there to keep that line of sight open now, and that is pretty much it. But one last thing too, it's possible I may switch out the glass again back to a more traditional glass. I like the idea of the circle in the middle, kind of neat. But one of the comments also suggested that they don't necessarily like that design, and I kind of agree. I don't particularly like that design either. I think I'd rather just have it more open and traditional glass. But you know, I had to play around with the new parts. You know, I used them in a couple places inside the ship. But comparatively speaking, I'm pretty sure this would devastate the other equivalent model ships that I've made through time for the different factions, the humans, the Scar, and the Creel. This one is heavier duty, more armored than any of those are, and potentially, well, similar firepower, we'll just say. I won't say it's more or less, really. It's just similar. So that's about it. I don't know when I'm going to release this yet. I need to put several more hours into it with the LCD sensors, check out O2, work on a couple of those little features, finish the medical bay. But the list is getting shorter and shorter as I go. The bulk of this is done now, so I'm pretty happy about that. And then I kind of wanted to actually, I might do this in a single-player game, cheat a little bit, but fire up like Reforged Eden, go warp around a little bit, spawn this in with cheating, load it up with ammo and stuff, and go shoot some nullifiers and stuff, and try to take some good hits. I want to see how the damage model is going to work out, see if I got a flaw I'm not aware of yet. Hopefully not, but when building this, it's combat steel's heavy. I'm trying to keep the weight down, so it's very targeted where I've got combat steel, sort of like the exterior of the hull, which is all combat steel. Going on the inside, like the combat steel around the secure bridge and the core room, and up around the front, and some along the sides here and there. It's very targeted. Like the weight. I could add a lot more, trust me, but it's just the weight is a concern, of course, and I want this to be maneuverable. It kept on slowing down from where it originally was, obviously, when building out the interior and adding all this other stuff into it, but I did not want to make it too slow. But I figure, you know, with the option of being able to fill in like a big chunk of the ship of like put in whatever the heck you want over here, probably Xeno, and then even down below back over in this area, I might work out. I got to work out this room yet, and the floor here is right below the hangar. But it's kind of back, but the front wall here is weak right now. But this again is a fill zone, separated by another blast door, and probably have to add a few more combat steel blocks in here to stock to make that work out pretty good. Well, anyway, I will shut up. I just wanted to show you this, and oh, missing textures. Keep on finding more and more missing textures. I'm sure I will for the next several hours of building on this. There'll be more, but yeah, should work out pretty good. MCRN finally has their I don't know. Well, just say like a size class 5 range. Combat CV, which is exactly what I intended to do. So this one actually came out pretty good, you know, on guessing the size class. I'm usually really bad with size class. Like I'll say, oh, I expect this to be size class like 5 or whatever, and then it ends up being like 10. I've done that a lot of times, but this one actually came out about right. So I'm happy. I was worried for a little bit, thinking, oh man, I said it's going to be probably size class 4 or 5, and watch it be like 7 or 8. But no, it's actually 5. It's actually didn't even quite hit full 5 yet either. So it's not that big, but it is technically bigger. It's bigger than the Scepter, and it's bigger than excuse me, the Scar Raider. About the same size as the Asteria, different shape. Design on all these though, so this one's kind of skinnier, about the same length as a lot of those, but it's just due to its that rocket design. It's got a lot of room inside it. It's bulky, quite a few floors in there. quite a few areas to fill up for being a smaller ship. All right. Well, anyway, that's it for me today. Tomorrow we'll have another look at the workshop, and I already got a couple things picked out, but I'm going to find some more to take a look at tomorrow. I was thinking a little bit in the future about possibly theming some of those too. Like maybe one week I might just look at, you know, SVs or something like that. Another week I might just look at HVs or something like that. You know, it's just an idea. One last thing before I go to, if you guys, if anybody has any ideas for a lure-friendly name for this, this is its nameplate on either side of the ship. I believe it has 8 blocks available, or basically 8 letters if you're using decals to fit there, up to 8. Probably look best around 7 or 6, but up to 8. I just kind of wanted, I haven't, I thought of one name, but I don't know if I want to go with it or not, and I don't even want to say it right now, but we'll see where it goes. Anyway, you all have yourself a good day. I will talk to you later.